Hello everyone, in this video we're going to have a look at the Sliding Baikou, which is a derivative of the Baikou step, but it has a very interesting sort of philosophical background in terms of how it can be applied in daily life and what does it represent in particular, so hopefully that will be interesting to know and to learn how to master it essentially. So without further ado, let's have a look how the step is meant to be practiced first, then we'll learn how the technique is done, and then we'll go and have a look how this general concept of applicating this kind of thing works in one's life. All right, so to understand how this step works, I think we need to drop back to the casual baikou. So from the last video, you might remember that the baikou is about expansion and contraction. And again, expansion and contraction. Expand, contract. So sliding baikou is essentially baikou, but with a slightly different emphasis that we put during this step. And interestingly, the idea behind baikou is when you work within, well, let's say your comfort zone, because you can expand from where you are, and also you can contract, and you find yourself within all the time, and this allows you to relax. This allows you to develop your inner sensitivity. This allows you to naturally feel the flows of the outer world. So all that is very natural, very good and comfortable. But when it comes to the interactions with the outer world, sometimes it might often happen that the outer world puts us into a situation that is really far from being comfortable. And in that case, the question is, how can we maintain, how can we not lose this inner balance? How we can not lose this inner sensitivity? How can we not lose our very own selves when we're doing certain type of moves, certain type of motions under the certain type of circumstances? Because, like, say you are in a comfort zone, everything works. You can do you feel the and you just can do expansion, you can do contraction, all works. But then there is an additional condition happening, and the additional condition in the baikou is is the need to maintain a balance in a dynamic step where you don't have a support to of the ground, because you are sort of kind of flying all the way along. So just technically, so let's break down to legs first. So unlikely casual bike, okay, where we stand on a line and essentially the line itself expands and the line itself contracts. So we are not stepping off the line. So we have the line, we are walking along. Yeah. So we just expand on the line and we contract on the line. But then it just happens that you need to change the line itself. Okay? You need to change the line itself. So you are not allowed to go to stand within the line. It's very similar to the bus is driving towards you, and if you're just doing baikou, the bus would kill you, right? So sometimes when the bus is coming, the right thing to do is want to step aside so that bus goes away and it doesn't kill you. So this idea represents that sometimes there is a power in life that goes just straight into you, and there is nothing to be done but to step around that power, step around that power. Okay, so technically, Baikou remains the same, but we add this ability to step like beyond uh, this straight line. So sliding Baikou starts when you have this 90 degrees, and then you do stand like 45 degrees, like this. Okay, and every time you complete the step, you would be turning 45 degrees here, 45 degrees here. Well, essentially like in casual Baikou, but the footwork is different. So I'm lowering the chi, my knees are not going beyond the toes, right? And I can see the empty step as always. And then I start rotating my foot like this. And rotating my foot allows me to create sort of a curvature within my body so that I rotate the axis in the front leg and in the body in general. Okay? So I go like step aside. Okay? So this is a pillar here. I'm going like stepping this pillar aside. And then, cool part, I'm just bringing my legs together into this Dinbu kind of step. Dinbu means dot step in Chinese. So you put a dot here. So one foot, and so the other foot is in the center of this foot. Okay, and then again, I consider empty step, and then I'm starting to rotate my foot like this, and this also rotates the entire body. And then cool, just bring all together. And then again, empty step, I'm starting to rotate my foot. Okay? And cool. And then again, just T step to turn. And now again. So I'm rotating my foot like this. Okay? And step. I'm rotating my foot like this. And step. Rotating my foot. Rotating my foot. And then if you do this a little bit faster and like lighter, you just being relaxed and you just do Baikou, Baikou. And then to help this dynamic aspect, because again, if you do just the bare footwork and statically it looks like this, okay? Like this. But when dynamics comes in, we are using hands. The hand movement is somewhat similar to what we have in Tai Chi called Yun Chou, or hands that move in the clouds. Yeah, so this kind of thing. But say in Yan Tai Chi, it's more like stretching. It's more like stretching. Yeah. In Chen Tai Chi, this is more like silk reeling kind of stuff. But within this step, the purpose of this movement is to unite into the center and just so this is explained as well, it's a metaphor. So the weight gets into the hand. So I'm putting the weight. So my weight is here. Okay. So I put my weight into the hand, and then I bring my weight over in here. Okay. So say without this, It's hard to step. My leg doesn't let me go. Yeah, but I take my weight and I bring my weight here. So here is my weight. Now I bring my weight back and I bring this here. So in dynamics, this is how it looks. So put the weight into the hand, yeah, and bring the weight um, over in here. Then again, put the weight into the hand and going like this, going like this. So the general idea behind this step, we just taking our weight and lightly moving this into like left and right. This is very similar to, say you have some stuff, yeah, and your stuff is like over in here, and then the car goes. So you need to quickly take your stuff and bring it to somewhere else. So you would be doing like grabbing everything and put it somewhere else. Okay, so car is coming, I need to grab everything and put it somewhere else. And then car goes. Okay, and then another car goes, I need to put this and put it somewhere else. So this stuff is your center. And again, the matter of like discomfort is when you essentially, um, when you don't have to move, when you just stay in one place and you can comfortably um, develop. This is like okay, this is fine. But then you suddenly need to quickly take everything and move. So taking everything and move, okay? Like emergency mode. Emergency mode. You have like 5 minutes to take all this stuff and leave forever and never go back. So what can you take within this 5 minutes? Only most important things, right? So this step is about taking most important things in a matter of a moment, a matter of second, matter of a moment, okay? And this allows us to get a certain degree of mobility, so we can take and we just go somewhere else. It might sound like maybe a bit weird, a bit strange, because usually people are creating some circumstances around that allow us to live within this comfort zone, to live within this environment that improves the overall development, improves the overall growth, inner growth, for instance. No matter what, it might be like careers are the same essentially. Um, Getting used to a certain place where you live in is also similar. Say you've been living in one place for your entire life, and then suddenly you need to move. So what's the issue? Yeah, the issue is that you say I cannot build life in another place because I got used to this one so much that if I go there, I would lose everything. And essentially, this means like I have so much stuff here that if I only need to think that I need to move there, I'm overwhelmed already because I cannot take everything. And if I leave most of the stuff and go without it, I don't make sense anymore, and I'm like dead already, dead from within. So that's the problem. So this kind of step, uh, it's about dynamic minimalism in terms of it reminds us always that um, we cannot take much with ourselves in a case if we need to move in an emergency mode. Probably one last thing I want to highlight a little bit is that if we have a look at the inner process that this particular step is developing, regardless of the technique of the step itself. So, this is about work with the axis that we have in our human body. So, So far we've been discussing the backward central meridian, the front central meridian, the very central meridian as I call it. But we also have, so this is the central axis generally. It might have like the backward part, the front part, but this is the matter of a uh, single axis that we have within our body. But apart from this single axis, we also have an axis that goes like through the shoulder, through the hip joint, and to the leg here, and also one that goes over in here. And if we just think of the very central axis, it's about like stand. It's about stand. Uh, it's static. So where the dynamic is coming from? The dynamic comes from the rotation, and the rotation comes from uh, these these kind of steps, which like this steps. But essentially, what is this step all about? So this step is all about um, using the axis that goes through the shoulder and to the leg in order to rotate. So, like one axis, one here and one here. So, we need to take this one and we need to rotate it. Okay, and we rotate this one here, and this one gets rotated here, and it sort of creates this like motion. So, when we create this like motion, we make the spiral in a tense kind of position, so that later it can quickly like contract. So again, we have the same expansion and contraction just like we do in the casual baikou. But in a casual baikou, what does the extraction and contraction? The central axis does the expansion. The central axis does the contraction. Expansion, contraction within the central axis. Here, we do like use this side axis to make this expansion and contraction. And this is represented nicely in single palm change of baguazhang art. And since this Baikou step is one of the core steps behind the practice of baguazhang, just want to give you an idea. So we do some circle walking, and when we do circle walking just as is, um, we mainly use the central axis. We slightly use uh, this left and right axis to make this turn towards the center. Yes, but not much. And then when single palm change comes, so this is the move, and this is essentially the sliding baikou type of a sliding baikou that we do. Okay, and we do it like this, and we do it like this, and then we keep moving. So, particularly um, within this code, okay. So I'm using this left axis. So I'm rotating the left axis, okay, and then I'm rotating the right axis in order to get back to this normal position. Um, so yeah, these are the physics behind the particular rotations, also known as changes, in baguazhang. Yeah, guys, this is it from my side. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Until then, and cheers.